In a world that never stops moving, peace often feels out of reach. But what if the answer isn't out there, but within? In this calming and powerful video, a wise man shares heartfelt stories, timeless wisdom, and practical strategies to help you cultivate mindfulness, reduce stress, and reconnect with the present moment. Discover how small, intentional shifts can bring you clarity, stillness, and joy, no matter how chaotic life gets. Ready to slow down and breathe again? Like, comment, and share if this resonates with your heart. Subscribe for weekly life lessons, mindfulness tips, and gentle guidance for a meaningful life. Tell us in the comments, how will you practice mindfulness today? There's a quiet revolution waiting to happen inside each of us. Not a loud one, not the kind that shouts for attention, but one that whispers, gently calling us back to the present moment. This is the power of mindfulness. You see, we live in a world of constant noise, notifications, responsibilities, comparisons, deadlines. Our minds, much like our schedules, are cluttered. And in that clutter, peace becomes harder to find. But peace isn't found by escaping life. It's found by being fully alive, right here, right now. Let's start here. Mindfulness is not about sitting cross-legged in silence for hours. It's about paying attention to your breath, your body, your thoughts, your surroundings. I once asked a farmer in the mountains, "How do you stay so calm?" He smiled and said, "I just do what I'm doing when I'm doing it." Simple words, but powerful. When he eats, he only eats. When he walks, he feels the ground beneath his feet. When he listens, he's not thinking of his reply. He's simply listening. That, my friend, is mindfulness. And that, according to science, can lower stress, improve focus, and enhance emotional health. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I used to rush through everything, my meals, my days, even conversations, until one day I sat across from a friend I hadn't seen in years. After we talked, she said, "You were here, but not really here." Those words hit me like a wave. How many moments had I missed simply because my mind was elsewhere? How many sunrises, how many smiles? Science confirms this too. When our minds wander, we tend to be less happy, no matter what we're doing. Being present is not just a nice idea, it's a path to peace. If your life feels scattered, start with the breath. It's the one thing that is always with you. You don't have to search for it. You just have to notice it. Try this with me. Take a slow breath in, and now gently breathe out. Feel that? In just a few seconds, you became more alive to this moment. I once asked a monk, "What's your secret to peace?" He replied, "I follow my breath like a child follows his mother. Wherever it goes, I go." Just a few mindful breaths a day can reset your nervous system and create space between stimulus and reaction. And in that space, peace lives. You don't need a retreat or a yoga mat to practice mindfulness. In fact, some of the most profound moments of presence come during the most ordinary tasks. Washing dishes, walking to your car, drinking tea. I met a carpenter once who told me, "Every nail I drive with awareness. That's how I build peace, one board at a time." Mindfulness is not about escaping your life. It's about entering it more fully. So next time you eat, notice the texture, the temperature, the taste. Next time you speak to someone, look into their eyes and be there. That's where connection begins. That's where meaning grows. Now let's talk about emotions. There was a time in my life when I tried to resist every uncomfortable feeling. Anger, sadness, fear. But the more I pushed them away, the louder they became. One evening, an elder told me, "The storm only passes when you stop running from it." Mindfulness teaches us to observe our emotions without becoming them. To say, "I notice sadness," instead of, "I am sad." That small shift is powerful. You are not your emotions. You are the space in which they arise and pass. Watch them like clouds drifting across the sky. They come, they go, but the sky remains. When you begin to live mindfully, something remarkable happens. You start to realize how much time you've spent on what doesn't matter. I remember a moment of clarity while watching ants move slowly across a garden path. I had spent years rushing, and they were simply being. And they were peaceful. Mindfulness helps you make conscious choices to choose rest over hustle, presence over performance, people over productivity. Ask yourself this: am I living in alignment with what I truly value? Mindfulness brings you back to your center so you can live from the inside out. Let me be honest with you. Mindfulness isn't about being calm all the time. It's not about perfection. It's about coming back to your breath, back to your body, back to this moment, again and again and again. Every time you return, you strengthen your awareness. And over time, you begin to carry peace with you, no matter the storm around you. So my friend, you don't have to go far to find peace. You just have to be here. Breathe slowly, walk gently, notice deeply, and remember, the most beautiful moments in life are often the ones we are fully present for. One of the greatest acts of love is to truly listen. But in our fast-paced lives, we often listen just enough to respond, not to understand. Years ago, I met a teacher who would sit with his students for hours, saying very little. One day I asked him, "Why don't you give more advice?" He smiled and said, "Because most people don't need advice. They need to be heard." Mindful listening means being fully present with someone, not interrupting, not planning your reply, not checking your phone, just being there. It tells the other person, you matter, your words matter, I'm here with you. Relationships flourish in the presence of attention. So next time someone speaks, try this. Pause. Look them in the eye. Listen not just to their words, but to the space between them. It's easy to feel present when life is peaceful. But the real test of mindfulness is during life's storms. A few winters ago, I lost a dear friend. The grief was heavy, but instead of running from it, I sat with it, breathing, feeling, being. And in that stillness, I found something unexpected, a quiet strength. Mindfulness doesn't remove pain. It teaches us to face it with courage and clarity. A fireman once told me, in the middle of disaster, it's not strength, but awareness that saves us. That's the gift of mindfulness. It grounds you, even when everything else feels like it's falling apart. So if you're in a difficult chapter of life, know this. You don't have to rush out of it. You can breathe through it. And each breath is a small act of healing. We fill our lives with so much, things, tasks, distractions, thinking they'll bring us happiness. But sometimes joy is found not in adding, but in letting go. I once spent 3 months living with nothing but a small bag and a journal, and never in my life had I felt so free. Simplicity gives birth to mindfulness. When you clear the noise, you begin to hear yourself again. When you let go of excess, what remains is what truly matters. Try this. Declutter one part of your life this week. Maybe it's your workspace. Maybe it's your morning routine. Maybe it's a toxic thought you've held on to for too long. Each release creates space for peace. When you choose to live mindfully, you're not just transforming your own life. You're impacting everyone around you. Children sense your presence. Strangers feel your calm. Friends are drawn to your grounded energy. It's like dropping a stone in still water. The ripples go far beyond what the eye can see. I once had a young man tell me, I started practicing mindfulness because I saw how calm you were, even when things were hard. You never know who's watching. You never know how your stillness might inspire someone else to slow down and breathe again. Mindfulness is not about escaping life. It's about embracing it, one breath, one step, one moment at a time. So let this be your gentle reminder. You don't have to rush. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to show up fully, openly, honestly. That's where peace begins. Not in the future, not in some faraway dream, but right here, in this very breath. If something in this message spoke to your soul, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. What part of your life is asking for more mindfulness? Like this video if it brought you a sense of calm. Share it with someone you love. They might need this moment of peace too. Subscribe for more soul-nourishing reflections, stories, and life lessons every week. And remember, the way you live today shapes the peace you feel tomorrow. Until next time, be still, be aware, be here.